So this is going to be slightly different to my other videos. It's a very impromptu video about the recent assassination attempt against Donald Trump. So, I mean, this moment is just, monumental in American history. And particularly I want to talk about the photographic record that came of it. The photos are just absolutely staggering. There's so much that people have said, there's so much talk about it, so there's not much that I can really offer while I'm still collecting my thoughts. But, Trump, for those who watch the channel, Trump probably have a very similar feeling to him that you've had. 2016 was just absolutely captivating, seeing him come in and absolutely tear everything up. He was magnetic, he was a force of nature, and the kind of things he was saying were absolutely, insane by those standards. He was completely untouchable, and he has been untouchable, He's been, no scandal. I remember when people thought, when those Billy Bush secret recordings, that it was all over for him, With everything he's gone through since then, all the lawfare, it's just, insane to think that a scandal like that. And his response to that scandal, one of the best things he did, he took all of the accusers of Bill Clinton, placed them in the front row of the debate with Hillary, threatened to lock Hillary in prison. I mean, it's just amazing. It's standing up in front of Jeb Bush and saying, that his brother was a warmonger who completely, betrayed the United States by going to war in Iraq. The balls to do that is crazy. But here, for the last several years, Trump has been weak, has been so incredibly weak, surrounding himself with, neoconservatives and Zionists. And he feels like he, in a big way, has been on autopilot. And then seeing, just that image of him raising his fist with the blood on his face, he's wearing the blood as a mask or as a badge. The vivid colors, it's the middle of summer with the clear blue sky behind him, the determination on his face. And that was the first thing. So it wasn't confirmed that the shooter was down. There may have been a second shooter even. And the man is there, a complete showmanship, just raising his fist into the air. It's spectacular and it's mesmerizing. And it kind of really demonstrates something deeper about Trump, that Trump as a symbol, Trump as an emblem, is something of far more substance than perhaps Trump is as an actual person, as a very flawed, chaotic person. And then the other image of this as well, of him, knelt down, the blood dripping off his cheek, his face backlit, right, huddled. It almost looks as if he's praying. Here, in this sort of moment of fate, the true essence of Trump is embodied when he's woken up out of his slumber for a moment of just like droning on about dunking on Democrats for their immigration policy or whatever, right? And then suddenly this lion roars and he comes alive in defiance as well. And to think, it feels like it's impossible that Trump could have been killed, right? And yet it was 1 centimeter away. And it's so poetic. He went off script, he went off the teleprompter. He's bemoaning the teleprompter. He goes off script. And he's gesturing and moving his head side to side. And it's that centimeter that saved him. So, Trump's erratic stage presence afforded him that split, that hair's breadth that meant that it pierced his ear and not his brain. There's something very, very deep about that. Purportedly Trump's is affected Trump deeply. You see him walking down with misty-eyed, in his latest public appearances. Apparently, he's taken it very deeply, very spiritually. He's going to change his future speech to talk about God more. but why has this happened? There's all these conspiracy theories, and I'm open-minded to some of them. But just that image as well of him pumping his fist into the air with the American flag behind, and what's below him? A diversity hire. This like podgy Melissa McCarthy looking woman who's apparently a secret agent. In subsequent public appearances, he's had no short, fat women being his bodyguards. But that sums up like so much, right? The kind of the DEI empire of America just decaying, and the most basic thing of not allowing someone to get shot, which you think the Secret Service would be good at, the total failure, right? Whether it's deliberate or not deliberate, I don't know. But there's that element to the image as well. And I remember about a month ago, I was talking to Kevin Valier. I was very privileged to meet him and to chat with him personally. And he was saying, look, J.D. Vance is a shoo-in. Saying, J.D. Vance is this, he's a post-liberal, although he'll never use those words. But, J.D. Vance being the pick. Of course, this is incredibly disappointing because, J.D. Vance is associated with Peter Thiel and with Palantir and all kinds of nasty connections to the American intelligence community. He was a never-Trumper, of course. And he's the exact, super pro-Israel, crazy guy. He's the exact type of person associated with billionaires, associated with the intelligence community, super pro-Israel. The exact type of person who you do not need around Trump. Trump who has a kind of, friendly but adversarial and pragmatic relationship with the state of Israel. Although, he is far more hawkish than Biden is. It's kind of been a blessing that Biden's been in for the last 4 years while Israel goes through this crisis. It's led to Israel being incredibly weakened, which is only a good thing, and has led to a kind of overplaying of the hand of the American elite, the certain faction of the American elite. But this J.D. Vance thing, I mean, what is this moment? This flaming, this beautiful moment. Feels like all of Trump's life is justified in this one moment. But is it just that? Is it just a moment? What does it really change? If this was allowed to happen, or the shooter was groomed by, or a blind eye was turned to the security against Trump for political reasons from, the intelligence community, then Trump must have some kind of awareness of that. He must have some understanding of that. Whether he does or not, I don't know. But now Vance is his second pick. Will he just go back into autopilot? Will he just slink back into, a man who is a showman, and when it comes down to the real substance has not a tremendous amount to offer? Or will this kind of awaken something real in him? No one around Trump who should have protected him did protect him. He should have been protected and wasn't. That must ring in his mind in some level, even if there's not an explicit understanding of how the events came to bear. And it may actually just be some crazed lunatic. We don't know. But really, I mean, this image of him is just. It's kind of an eternal image. Lots of people are saying it will like disappear in the social media heap of trash of current news. But I'm not sure. I think we've just witnessed an image that is far, I think even more iconic of a moment in American history than Abraham Lincoln being assassinated. And it really goes to show like his virtue as a man. And he has many, many flaws, but in that moment, like not for a second did he question. He stood up defiantly and raised his fist. That was his instinct. And the whole crowd, I mean, people in the crowd died, but they're all up on their feet, pumping their fists along with him. So it shows that Trump, is a very, very flawed man, even with many, many flawed people around him, he's a vessel for something higher, for some higher force, some higher type of providence that's working through him. And it really embodies Trump as an image. Trump is an image. He's a reality TV star. He is an image in and of himself, more than he is a person. And, this fully actualized, truest form of Trump is embodied within this actual picture. And perhaps that's Trump's greatest legacy, not as a man, but as an image.